Hi, I'm Keith DiGregorio with Alpine Cleaners, a professional carpet and upholstery cleaning company out of Sturbridge, Mass. Today we're going to go into this client's home and show you how to professionally clean upholstery.
Keith will now take you through his 4-step cleaning process. Number 1, thoroughly vacuum. This removes ground-in dust. Number 2, wash with a precondition and shampoo. This loosens the soils. Number 3, rinse. This removes all of your soils from your upholstery. And number 4, drying. Allows your fabric to return to its like-new condition.
We're evaluating these 3 pieces of upholstery in this living room, and the set is 4 years old and has never been professionally cleaned. The homeowner vacuums it on a regular basis. So what I want to do right now is evaluate it myself. The piece is a synthetic fabric, which means that it's very cleanable. I can use very, very hot water to clean this. I can use very strong cleaning agents. There's no risk of the material bleeding or the colors. In other words, if I had a red and a blue and a white, any of those colors bleeding into the white. The first part of the evaluation is to see what's in the fabric for dust. And what I'm going to do in that evaluation is use a simple napkin and put the napkin on the end of this vacuum hose and just see, the vacuum will act like a vacuum bag. So I'll evaluate and see what's in each piece for dust. Because the first step in the cleaning process is to give each piece a very thorough vacuuming. So as you can see from the dust test, there's quite a good amount of dust in here. And that's actually pretty normal. I rate the test light, moderate, and severe. Any test that is light would come up just like a regular napkin after I ran the test, and there would be very little dust on it. If it comes up moderate, then that means there's some discoloration and some damage taking place in the fabric. This test would be moderate to severe, means that there is discoloration and damage that's taking place as a result of this dust being in the fabric. Because as you can imagine, well, first of all, the upholstery acts like a filter in the home. So all of the dust that settles on your horizontal surfaces that are hard, you know, after 6 months or a year, if you go ahead and do a dusting on an area that you don't see very often, there's quite a layer of dust on there. Well, this acts like a filter, and this absorbs all that dust. So it actually hides and gets into the material. And then as we sit on the fabric, we grind that dust into the material and discolors the fabric. So the first step in cleaning is to get all that dust out of there. So I'll vacuum and vacuum until I get the test light. Then we'll go ahead with the second step, which is the wash cycle. On this piece right here, even though these pieces are in the same room and they get the same basic use, it's a family room, it gets a lot of use, this material is not as porous, so there's a little bit less dust. And the homeowner does vacuum. But when a homeowner vacuums, typically they're not vacuuming to get all of the dust out of the fabric. They're just getting the dust that's on the surface. So we want to make sure we get all of the dust out of the fabric. One of the other things that we do to evaluate is we take a look at the discoloration of the fabric that gets used, such as the areas of the arms and the seat, and in front over here, where the legs might hit in the summertime when you have shorts on, the oils from your hands and your legs, and we compare that to an area that doesn't get any type of use. And you can see the material here is much cleaner because it hasn't been, that dust and those oils haven't been ground into the fabric, causing discoloration. So when you compare an actual area, the top of the arm to the back over here, there's quite a contrast as to the discoloration, and that's what we want to attempt to get out today. So what I want to do right now is get the upholstery preconditioned. This is part of the wash cycle. What I'm going to do is spray on the upholstery an upholstery preconditioning solution. It's designed to break down and emulsify and suspend all of the types of ground-in soils that get on upholstery. The oils that we had discussed earlier, from your skin, the soils from the dry dust that was in the fabric. So take care, the customer's got a hardwood floor, to not over wet the floor, although this pre-spray won't do anything but end up getting the floor clean. What I will do is then, to provide a little agitation, go over the fabric with an upholstery shampoo. This helps to work the pre-spray in and to loosen up some of the soils. Think of it as the same process that your washing machine goes through. When you put the clothes in the washing machine, you go through a wash cycle and a rinse cycle. This is the wash cycle. This is when the clothes sit in a hot solution, and then it starts the wash process where there's agitation and everything gets nice and soapy. That's what this is. Or like washing your hands. You lather up your hands, you rub your hands together, you allow the soap to loosen up everything that's on your hands. And this will be followed by the rinse step, which is a hot water rinse designed to flush out all of the loosened up soils and the soaps that were used, or the pre-sprays that were used in this wash cycle. So now that we've preconditioned this chair with the pre-spray and the bucket and the brush, what we're going to do is rinse out all of the preconditioning agents and all of the soil, the ground-in soils that have been loosened up by those preconditioning agents. And I'm going to use this tool right here. It's called a Dry Master tool. It's a tool that is designed to, as I say, flush out the soaps and the soils. It has a bead of rinsing solution that runs across it, and as I draw the tool across the fabric, it will pull out all of the soils that are on the fabric. And then when the fabric is dried after it's been protected, kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit, it leaves the fabric fresh. It leaves the fabric feeling soft, feeling clean. It smells clean, and it looks, obviously, looks wonderful. Okay, so at this point the chair has been vacuumed thoroughly. It has been preconditioned and as part of a wash cycle, and shampoo has been worked into the fabric to loosen up the soils. I've rinsed the fabric with a tool that's designed to flush out all of the soaps and all of the soils that are on the fabric, and also rinses out odors along with removing the dust. There are odors that are in that dry dust. So the fabric is clean, it feels soft. I've gone ahead and cleaned a sofa, another chair, and this fabric, this material right now is almost dry and soft. So at this point I will apply the fabric protector. It's a solvent-based protector. It's a much better protector than a water-based protector on upholstery, and this is the final step. It should dry in 2 to 3 hours with the protector on it.
Keith DiGregorio from Alpine Cleaners just finished showing you his 4-step cleaning process. In this process, number 1, you need to thoroughly vacuum. This removes ground-in dust. Number 2, a wash with a precondition and a shampoo loosens the soils. Number 3, rinsing removes all of your soils. And number 4, drying allows the fabric to return to its like-new condition. Keith would love to talk to you about your carpets or upholstery being professionally cleaned. You can call him at Alpine Cleaners at 1-800-286-0799.